With Alan Wake, in one of the recent interviews, you were talking about how it was kind of linked with your childhood, where the clicker, it was an item that
Yeah.
you would have as a kid. How was that? Was the base of the story coming from your childhood?
After Max Payne, after the first game, I went to study screenwriting at Theatre Academy of Finland for a couple of years. So film and TV, which was a wonderful school. I learned a lot, and that was really the first school where I was constantly feeling like now I'm in the right place. And how it was structured is that every semester, it was 3 semesters, this kind of course, we wrote a film screenplay. By like in half a year. One of these screenplays, I just kind of like took a lot of locations and ideas and feelings from my childhood. And it's a horror movie set in the kind of Finnish countryside by a lake. I mean, there is the clicker, the light switch that has mystical properties. There is a scary older lady, you know, in a cabin next door, who may or may not be Baba Yaga, the witch. There are other neighbors who are these crazy drunken Swedes, Tor and Odin Anderson. When I started working on the story of Alan Wake, I just ended up stealing them from that screenplay. I was really tapping into all kinds of thoughts, obviously not one-to-one, but just inspired by kind of like childhood memories of different kinds.
Do you remember a version of the game that didn't end up being Alan Wake, but do you remember which was closer to what you guys wanted, but you still had to change? Do you remember that? We started creating a free roaming open world game. And that's what the engine was, and that's what the tools are. And you can, I think, like, even if we abandoned that direction after a lot of hard work and struggle and frustration, I think it ended up contributing to the feeling of the experience, because we did build the world. And even if it's linear and we take you through it, there is a map. And the landscape is actually there, and there are vistas where you can see quite far, which wouldn't probably be the case if we would have just started creating a linear experience. Looked for solutions for a long time. I wrote many versions of the story to try to support where the gameplay was going. I felt sad along the way because it just felt that for us to make this work, it kind of is pushing it further and further into supernatural, meaning that we were losing the idea of idyllic, present day world. It started to feel like, well, some sort of a supernatural catastrophe has happened, and we are in a kind of in that way, a post-apocalyptical setting. And everybody is barricaded in their houses, and they have generators running with lights, and it started to go into that direction, and it felt that we are losing a big part of the, the charm of what makes Alan Wake ultimately what it is. Sometimes these projects, and quite often, they are long and winding roads and a lot of frustration and hard work.